You're listening to the Reluctant Adult Podcast. If you like what you're hearing, follow us on social media and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is the way.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million.
This week from the internet, Star Wars fans celebrate the one day a year the general public is forced to put up with their shit. Plus, X-Men 97 breaks out the inflation calculator and is forced to list the X-Mansion on Airbnb. And Mattel invites WWE fans to sample their Knuckle Crunchers, which we are assured is not a double entendre. I'm not a monster, I'm just ahead of the curve. That's the Reluctant Adult Podcast.
Don't you be a dummy! Buckle your safety belt!
Think, Billy. It's morphin' time!
Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who wishes everyone who celebrates a very merry May the 4th. Bill!
Hi, everyone. May the 4th be with you. And also, beware of Revenge of the 5th, I guess.
Oh, God. Yes.
That's coming up, too.
We are recording on the actual holiday.
Yep.
It did not give you the holiday off.
No,
Nor
that's
do you
okay.
Nor do you get time and a half. You have just your normal rates of nothing.
Sure. I know.
Do you feel
it's going to be a while before people actually acknowledge that it's a legitimate holiday at this point.
Well, I was going to say, do you feel like it's become too commercialized? Like it's not about the date anymore? Like they're trying to sell toys and everything?
Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I feel like
100%. And it's overwhelming just to get into that little bit.
Yeah. It's like they save everything. It's like the general population feels like it's only okay to talk about Star Wars once a year at this point.
And it's like, if you have that friend that you're casual with and you're like, oh yeah, I know you like Star Wars.
Yeah.
May the 4th, man.
Must be a big day for you. It must be a
real big day. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I think everyone I associate with imagines me just sitting home all day watching the movies.
Yeah.
And that's my life.
Which is accurate. That's what you did.
I saw a movie.
Yeah. But you saw it in theaters.
I did.
And it was a terrible movie.
Absolutely. No. You got to backpedal that.
Right.
I have a lot of fun with that
Episode 1.
movie.
We're talking about episode 1.
We're talking about episode 1, back in theaters for the 25th anniversary.
Making us feel old.
Yeah, very old. I mean, I'm watching it in the theater, and it's bringing back all the memories from 25 years ago. The Midnight Madness, hanging out, going to midnight movies, getting the anticipation. Because this was I felt like this movie was the first movie where things were held from us. Like, we didn't know the general plot.
Sure.
Like, it was all quiet. Like, there were no spoilers.
Weird Al knew, because he produced that whole song in time for... He got like a leaked script so that he could write that whole song and release that.
Well, we all got our leaked script from the back of the CD when they had the fate of one of the main characters.
Oh, that's right.
As the title, like a month ahead of time.
Which character was it?
That was Qui-Gon. Remember they had Qui-Gon's funeral? Yes.
Well, listen. I mean, it's possible he could have survived 2 more movies. But considering he was not in the original trilogy, it's pretty for sure that he wasn't going to make it out alive.
So I brought my son to this because, truth be told, this is his favorite movie. This is his favorite Star Wars. This is Star Wars for him.
It doesn't even have the beasts in it. I thought he loved. Like,
he loves
he
loves the aquatic beasts.
at
the beginning.
Okay. I gotcha.
But and I'll truth be told, we're watching it. I'm very excited for him to see it. 10 minutes into the movie, after that scene is over, he's like, "Can we leave?"
Oh,
and I'm like,
yeah.
What?
No,
and
a
then
lot more
towards
politics
the end,
to get into.
There's a lot more, kid. You know, get strap
Trade
in, man.
disputes. Yeah.
Yes, we are blockading everything.
Yes.
But to top it off, so I don't think he pays a lot of attention to the movie, because at the end, when they're having Qui-Gon's funeral, he's like, "Hey, what's in the fire?" And then I'm thinking to myself,
what is in the fire?
What is in the fire? And why isn't he wrapped up? Like, why are they burning his body like that? Like, Darth Vader made sense, it was a suit, but like, you're gonna watch Qui-Gon get a little crispy eventually.
That's just how the Jedi do it. Maybe he's got special midi-chlorians that were like protecting him.
Yeah,
I don't know. We never know. No. That was
It just had me thinking, but it was fun. It was fun to see it in the theater again.
Yeah.
Was it a big crowd?
A lot of people come?
There were. People applauded at the end, which I appreciated.
My God. I hate those people.
Pretty wild. They
they're not,
they tried to
get
the
actors aren't there, right? You know, they're not going to come out and take a bow. It's okay. You don't have to applaud the images, the shadows that are projected on the wall.
They had Disney has you try to stay post credits for a special extended reveal of the Acolyte.
Oh, did you?
Which we didn't stay for. No,
of course not. You couldn't. It's on YouTube, I'm sure.
Twitter. It is, right. That's the easy thing. And get out like 10 minutes early and not watch the credits.
Yeah, beat the crowd. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yep.
So there were a lot of things this year. I felt like Hasbro really loaded up on pre-orders.
Right.
Like they had, like last week they showed off the stuff, but then like today was the pre-order day. Like you had to hop on the different websites to get everything.
Of course. Yeah, I think they had. Have I? No, because I'm at the point where I'm very not anti Star Wars, but it's just so expensive.
It is.
And I'm still playing that waiting game where it's on sale.
Goes to Ross.
Clearance, discount, Ross.
It's more, honestly, it's more fun that way.
It's a lot more fun.
It's a game. If you just buy it. That's
going into the 2020s and being like, I'm going to collect all the Star Wars, that's not going to happen anymore.
Do you think there's still a completist out there other than Steve Sansweet?
I feel like the primary Star Wars websites will have you believe that they're still
I don't know.
Everything.
I at least follow Yakface on Instagram, and I feel like whoever's posting on that is always sort of like throwing shade.
You think so?
That's the impression I get.
I always liken it to like the modern day drug dealer at this point, but it's toys. Like
there still are drug dealers. You don't need a modern.
I know, you're right. They're not.
It's not
day.
like
it's
we got rid of. Remember when there used to be drug dealers?
Remember those
crazy
days? Those old time drug dealers where
old-timey drug dealers.
Cocaine?
Wow.
Yes.
Thank God we moved beyond that.
Fair enough. So I know most of it is just to generate ad space, but I really feel like it's like, hop on to get these General Gree and Yoda Black Series figures.
Like you would say Yakface is saying, like, get on there and get them.
I would say most of those websites, Jedi
Temple
Archives, Yakface.
Do you think they do that because they want to be in the good graces of Hasbro and get like the freebies? Or
I think that's the case.
Are they just they've been just doing it for so long that they just feel like that's part of their job to remind people, like, you got to go now.
You think that's their primary job at this point? Like,
not even that it's a job
off
like,
that, or
it's like, this is our job. It's not, but we do it, and it's like we have to do certain things. So maybe they just feel like they have to do it. It's like they've created their own rules, and if they stop doing it, then they like, what do I have? I've done this for so long. If I could just stop it, why don't I just stop it?
Well, I know Rebel Scum has a convention now. Rebel ScumCon. Yeah.
ScumCon? I don't love that name.
Well,
I don't love ScumCon.
Rebel ScumCon.
I don't love it. I think they could have done better. I understand you have to kind of have con in there. Scum con. It's like pond scum, con scum. Ooh. Con scum is better.
Sure.
They should have asked us before they officially made that happen. There's so many cons now. You're running out of names for this stuff.
My wife sent me a link to this Kids Con up in New Hampshire coming up in the next week, and I'm like,
Kids Con?
Kids Con.
What do you do at the Kids Con?
You bring your kids. There's like lightsaber stuff, Pokemon stuff. There's characters. Okay. You can meet artists, toy designers, that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, okay. You sold me there. That sounds like a real thing. Like it sounded like a trick at first. Bring your kids to Kids Con. What's going on there? There's going to be lots of kids. Everybody's bringing their kids.
Kids Con.
I'm going to keep my kids home. I don't think I need to bring my kids to Kids Con. You just said something that reminded me. Oh, we have our own con in case we've been campaigning to be the host of the next Hasbro Pulse Con.
Yeah. But
if for some reason that doesn't happen, we have a backup plan. We're gonna have PulseCon. So if PulseCon doesn't work out, we have PulseCon,
which is just tremendous.
You either see us at PulseCon or PulseCon. So one or the other.
Yep. I'm hoping ChrisCon comes back. To be honest with you.
Oh, is it not a first? It's not like a definite thing that it happens again?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah.
But who's to say?
You need to reach out to Chris. Get him on the show.
Be like, hey, is ChrisCon coming back? I had too much fun.
Maybe we can be a sponsor. We can get our logo on there.
So,
well, that was good. We were contractually obligated to mention Star Wars today, but the real top story is that you are a huge liar. You have fabricated this story about finding amazing retro toys at a yard. You went so far as I think you must have used AI to create a video to send it to me.
Hands? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the hands, they all looked all crazy. Maybe that's just what your hands look like. But so you sent me this photo of a cardboard box filled up with the real Ghostbusters Firehouse, Ecto-1. Saw a couple of Han Solo blasters in there. Are you telling me that in the year of our Lord 2024, you found good stuff at a yard sale?
I can stand behind that and say yes. I found the unicorn yard sale.
You did, absolutely.
I did.
Keeps the dream alive. It's still possible, guys. It still can happen.
Fun.
All right, so break this down to me. Was this like a town yard sale? Is it just somebody's house?
So you're familiar with the concept town-wide yard sale, right?
Last year, you explained it to me. You got a map. You would drive around to everybody that is participating.
Yes. So the local library in this particular town that's adjacent to my own, they just do predominantly toy yard sale. All benefits go to the library.
Oh, it's just toys.
It is just toys.
That's key. Just toys.
So it's just toys. So that tells you right there. Mm-hmm. You could either find last week's Paw Patrol, or 20 years ago Monster in My Pocket. Whatever the case may be.
Whatever you're into.
30 years ago. At this point. I saw it. Toys. It comes up quick. It's once a year. Last year I got a couple fun things. Some Fisher Price stuff. Loving family things that my daughter likes to play with my dad. Mm-hmm. But, you never find anything. The dream is to find the action figure.
Yeah.
The toys that you grew up with or wanted to buy.
Just the stuff you want. The stuff that goes to eBay now.
When you say, oh, man, that's the dream. Your dream is to this yard sale, if I could manifest something good.
We thought those days were over. It doesn't happen anymore.
But they're not. It doesn't.
They're not.
They're
not.
It's rare. So I woke up this morning 6:45. The yard sale is supposed to start at 8. Mm-hmm. I wake up 6:45, make coffee, head out the door 7:15, drive by the yard sale proper. There's several. There were 40 yard sales today. I couldn't do them all. I had a very busy day. On top of the movie, we went to an animal sanctuary. We went out to lunch. This was all before 2:00. We did all this.
Oh my God.
So I go out solo. I drove by it, saw some larger Han Solo.
Just remember that scene in Solo. What's your last name? No. Han.
We're your
Solo.
people.
I'm sorry. Anytime you say that, it just reminds me how cringe that was. Okay. Please continue.
Of course. So I drive by the yard sale. I look out the window. I see some of those larger jacks.
The Star Wars?
Were they jacks? The Star Wars, the larger, the 18-inch ones?
The giant
so
ones,
I see those on the stairs. I go, oh, that's cool. The yard sale is not supposed to start till 8 o'clock.
Sure.
So I go a little bit down the road, pick up the map, and then drive back. And when I'm driving back, I see one of the people that were setting up putting stuff in her car, and I'm like, oh, this thing's on.
Yeah, it's on.
So I'm past the point. I'm that guy now who's going to show up early and get in there early if I can. So I see her putting stuff in there. I go, oh, I'm going to start doing that myself.
Sure.
So
early worm gets the worm.
Early worm gets the worm. That's right. So I round the corner. First thing I find is a wonderful exoskeleton T1 T850 from
exoskeleton
endoskeleton. Yeah. So I love 90s. I love 90s Kenner. This thing was just sitting on the stairs, and I'm like, this is fantastic.
You would get those little pamphlets. You would rifle through them in the Nerf box. Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Right. So
did you ever have the Terminator? Did you have the Terminator set that came with like Play-Doh where you could make?
I still have that.
You have that? Oh, man.
I still have that, and I think I still have a thing of the powder. You mixed it with water, and the bio was the bio. You had to. It was the bio flesh regenerator.
Yeah. Try selling that today.
So, no kidding, right? It just make a mess. That's why you have kinetic sand.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So I'm looking, and then all of a sudden I see up at the top of the stairs, and I don't have it with me because my son's playing with it right now. I sent you the video. The firehouse.
Yeah.
In the firehouse, the Ecto-1. On the top of the Ecto-1, not the Ecto-1, on the top of the firehouse is a bag.
Right. Yep.
Got my Stay Puffed.
There it is.
Nice and white.
Is he white? Oh, he's white.
He is white.
Wait, check the is it a re-release?
1984 Columbia.
Oh, there it is.
Pictures.
What a year. What a year for toys.
I knew. I knew someone would be like, "Oh, that's a re-release."
Yeah, you got to check it.
X-Cop.
There he is. Look at that.
There he is.
Haven't re-released that one yet. You know that one's original.
No. Oh my gosh. I was wandering around. Let's see. We got a Ray. Ray was in the bag. This was all in the bag?
This
was all just in the bag.
In case
at this point,
in the firehouse.
At this point, I was stopped by someone setting up saying, "Oh, we haven't started yet. It's 7:30 in the morning.
Oh, no.
We haven't started yet." And
My heart would have sunk.
I say, "Well, that's fine, but can I build a box?" And she's like, "Well, you're going to have to ask the director of this."
It's like,
and I go, "Where is she?" So I walk up to her. I say, "Hey, is it a hard 8 o'clock to start on this thing, or can I start building the box?" And she goes, "We just need this crap out of here." And the minute she said, "Get this crap out of here," I knew my wallet was going to be nice and like thin in terms, because it's all donations too. It's all donations. So you say, I'll pay $10. They don't know what they got.
They don't care.
They don't. So I go back to that stash that had the endoskeleton. We got the Rat King.
There you go, turtles.
Who else did we find? I found almost a full set.
It's in good condition.
Which one, the Rat King or
everything? Right, from what I can see.
Yeah, no, everything had. This was the most well organized toy yard sale I've been at. I almost found a full set of Stargate figures. The accessories are in the box I'm right next to.
Where do you think these came from?
I have no clue.
I feel like you need to track down the owner. Is there any way to reverse
Day alien?
Well, that's insane. Does it have the floppy disk that they would come with?
I wish it did. And not only that, I got the other one too. I got the blue one and the movie accurate one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we need to track down the owner of this and find out their story.
What is this? This is Superpowers Lex Luthor?
Okay.
Battle Beasts?
A little bit of something for everybody.
Something for everybody. Let's see what else we got here.
Great.
Nedry?
Wow, really? just like one thing from every toy line. This is crazy.
The aforementioned blasters.
There they are.
And they both work. Ah!
When they made them fun colors so that they didn't
Fun,
look like
yes,
real
the
weapons.
fun colors.
Not just an orange
Who else
tip.
we
Let's
got?
make the whole thing orange.
Got the Fright Features Ray.
Oh, is it clean? I'm looking at mine.
It's very clean.
Mine is disgusting. He's all sticky.
Another.
like,
I got legit a full thing of the Stargate. Everybody loved the Stargate at the sale. They had Power Rangers stuff too.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like the kid
8-inch?
probably, and this was original stuff. Yeah, the 8-inch, but they were smashed up.
Yeah.
I did find
those don't make it out alive usually.
this was the piece. I feel like
RoboCop.
RoboCop
With caps.
PD260 with the cap
The launcher.
intact. Well, you put
They're
the
little-
strip caps in it.
Yeah. Why
The
can't we
paper-
have
the
caps
paper things?
anymore?
Why
Why can't we
can't
have
we?
those anymore? That was such a
Look
great
at
play
this.
feature. It would have a little
Fantastic.
smoke. Oh, I miss caps.
Fantastic. What else is in
That is
here?
fantastic. This is wild.
man.
It's like one toy from every toy line.
What did I? Egon's here. Grant.
You got the whole Ghostbusters like team.
Got another. I got most of them. Bob the Goon from Batman, but he doesn't have his hat.
Would you pay for this whole lot?
I paid $20,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
and that's not even me showing you like 100%
Did
of
you,
the
like-
stuff. Here's a
Do you
grimace.
feel bad or like
No, of course not. I paid.
it's like hundreds of dollars probably for the stuff.
So I want to show you
paid,
something
yeah.
real quick. I want to show you
Okay.
something real quick because remember the story I had, and I'm sorry this is going to take up so much time, but you remember my Death Star story when I found the Death Star at the
Oh yeah.
at the cat donation yard sale?
That's right. The cat donation yard sale.
Yes. So I'm at the yard sale. I find this.
Oh, McDonald's
This is
playset.
a 1991
Yeah.
Fisher Price Little People
Right.
McDonald's playset, and it also had the accompanying play structure. So
Wow.
I'm gonna clean this up and take more video of it because you set it up
Yes.
like this,
There you go.
and it's got a drive-through.
Whole
But
McDonald's
this was
world.
completely separate, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's too bad, because it's a cool piece.
Yeah.
So then I'm rummaging through some boxes, and I start finding stuff. I start finding the Ronald McDonald,
Oh, there it is.
the Hamburglar,
Whoa.
and then I find, let's see what else. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. The sign. And then I'm
sign?
starting to complete the stuff, and I'm like, oh man, I'm starting to find everything.
You have your kid with you?
I didn't have my kids. No, I went without the
Oh,
kids.
okay. I was gonna say.
So
it's like
yeah,
you
no,
for-
it wouldn't
they
have
could've-
happened if I had the kids.
probably,
They could have ruined
like-
everything.
They would have ruined.
The little cart, because there's a ramp in the playset. The little McDonald's cart.
Oh.
And then-
Wow.
And then I found the accompanying, like, the kids, because there were kids with it, too.
Sure.
Another Ronald. I found the hamburger top for the playset.
Yeah, the little cage you would play in.
Yeah, no, it's like,
Yeah.
there's like,
Oh,
it's like
okay.
you get the hamburger, or the hamburger
Oh,
eats
it like
you.
opens up. You eat you, right?
Yeah, eats you, and then you go down the slide.
Yum.
Yum.
You are
So the
pooped out.
last piece, I'm like
being
walking
consumed.
around, and I'm like, oh shoot, it's missing one car for the drive up.
Ah, ruined.
So I'm looking everywhere because everything was so nicely organized. Cars with cars, Barbie with Barbie. And I'm looking. I spent 10 minutes looking for this car, and I'm leaving to pay for the McDonald's set. And I look down, and it's like mixed in with like some Barbie stuff, and there's the blue car for the drive-through.
You found
I
the
completed
complete
it.
Set,
I
the
completed it.
complete set.
I asked you to go online and see how much this retails for on eBay.
Little people.
I spent $10 for it.
So this was an addition to the.
This was in addition
20?
to what I bought. Yeah.
Because it was from a different yard sale.
Nope, it was the same yard sale.
But it was a separate like.
I started to get wary about where my
Oh.
box was.
This one $485 for a complete
Yeah,
set.
nothing,
Loose.
right,
No big deal.
forget about it.
No, not even worth getting out of bed for.
No, of course not.
Man, what was this? A Boy Scout yard sale?
No, this is just a kid's toy yard
who
sale.
benefits?
The library. The library
Man.
benefited.
Think of all of the books you just stole from this library because
libraries get grants. What are you talking about?
Be dumb.
And Granny Gross
Maybe
right
up there in Florida, they're shutting them
Granny.
down. Books are the enemy.
The books
Granny
are the
Gross.
enemy.
Yeah.
Granny Gross.
I never liked books, so that's fine with me.
I mean, I went back 3-4 times, but yeah, no, the reason I bought that separately was because I had the box with Legos. There's stuff that's not even, I can't even have right now because it just doesn't really apply to, but I bought boxes of Legos, the Firehouse playset, but eventually people started to like look at my box and like rummage, and I was like, we're shutting this down. I found a whole other and this is $20. I found a whole other Fisher Price loving family mansion with furniture and family. So, like, right then and there, like, the day, I didn't even have to go to any other yard sale because my day was done. Like, I had such a dopamine rush. I was like, I am a crazy person right now. I'm having so much fun here.
Oh my God, this loving family, the dollhouse sells for
I love
$400.
collecting this stuff. Yeah, I love collecting this stuff. It's great. I found this. I might send it down to you. This is a 1994 activity book.
Ooh, has it got stickers?
Nobody colored in it.
Oh my God.
It's in perfect condition.
So here's the crazy thing about, let's go back to you finding the firehouse.
Yes.
There's got to be more where that came from, right? He wouldn't just have two of the original Ghostbusters and then Granny Gross. Like there's
I had
more.
Three of the Peter was in there too.
Track
so they might have just
this
been really
guy
racist.
down.
Track him down.
Seriously.
What else did I find? I'm sorry. I mean, I found so much. I found a Duke Nukem.
Oh, there you go. So he collected well into the.
Well, we don't know because it's multiple people dropping this stuff off.
Fair.
We don't know if it was the same person.
We don't know. But let's just say,
there was one other thing I wanted to show
sake of the story,
off.
it's one guy.
It's one guy, huh?
One magical
There's one
guy.
other thing I wanted to show off. Did I leave it in the... I left it in the car. Oh, wait, here we go. That's one thing. A nice G1 Transformer.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
So the one thing that's not in the box currently, I left it in the other box in the car.
Yeah.
Wait, nope, there they are. I found them. Take it all back. Oh, wait, here we go. Here's a Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, the G.I. Joe O-ring Slaughter.
Yep, with intact O-ring.
He's got intact O-ring. What about his digits? He got all his fingers?
He's got all his fingers.
Oh, my God. The person that had these took such great care.
It was tremendous. This was a fun little thing I found. No, these are McDonald's bucks.
Oh, wow.
And these are so cool. These are from 2002.
Do they still accept those?
I should try, but each one of them has like their own unique character on it.
Those are probably worth more on eBay too. Wow.
They might be. I got one that was. Wow. Yeah.
That's
for
great.
you, promise. And then just regular bucks, McDonald's bucks. So that was my adventure in the morning. That's how I started my day.
That was.
Forget about May the 4th. It was
Well, I was gonna say,
townwide yard sale day. It was toy yard sale day.
All those things you found, was there one Star Wars thing? I guess the Han Solo blasters.
The Han Solo blasters. Yeah, outside of that, there was a couple smalls that I didn't grab because we already had them.
Smalls?
But I like I think the micro figures, the little the more current ones that you find at Ollie's.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Well, that was great.
It was fantastic.
And you'll be giving all of that away on the podcast?
Yes. If you follow us and like our videos more than you actually already do. Yes.
Retweets at least 10,000 of our tweets, and you'll be entered to win the chance to live inside the firehouse. Yeah. How was the condition of the firehouse? Did it have the pole?
So it had one door. So that's the thing. It's a husk.
It had half a door?
It had one door. I mean, the door's worth something because the hinges always broke. Had the one door. It had all the white railings. It didn't have the fire pole. Didn't have the sign. Didn't have the containment unit.
One door.
Yeah.
It's like the front is two halves, right?
Correct.
But you consider those two doors?
Yeah, I consider them two doors.
Okay.
The two pieces to one door. Whatever.
Two pieces to one door. Yeah, I would say one.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Well, that's great.
I had fun. Eventually, I started putting stuff with things that made sense. Like Peppa Pig was by herself, so I put Peppa Pig with her car.
I will give you some credit because you did take a video. Was that a reenactment, or was that you authentically finding those items for the first time?
That was me seeing it and then being like, Paul's going to want to have video, get my phone up as quick as possible. I need to invest in a better camera that I can just strap to myself. No, I like the phone. The phone's always going to be the best quality. You get into I don't think you've gotten into these situations yet where you're competing with other people. Like it's like running to the Target aisle, but on steroids. Like if I was 5 minutes later, I wouldn't have gotten any of this stuff. Well, yeah. I mean, we always talk about that, how that's why we run to the toy aisle, because there's always someone else that's gonna they're right behind you. You got to get there first. They are. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about filming etiquette off air, but I appreciate you having that experience and sharing that. I think everybody will be excited to see, because you have proof. You have the box. Stuff's still out there, guys. It's still right. Don't give up hope. Go to yard sales. I mean, it's more about the feeling of finding it than it is finding like something mint and complete. I mean, that's the cherry on top. I think that's true. Yeah. Even finding something from your childhood, because 90% of the time, if you go to a yard sale, you're finding current toys that the kids have grown out of. You say like kids' toys, but it's like those were kid toys, but we were kids. It's just like current day kid stuff, like Paw Patrol and Imagine X, tons of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to move on from that. I don't know. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll what's the word? Recompose. All right, we'll do both of those. We'll recompose. Okay. And then we'll reconvene right after this. Diamond Select Toys is making Muppet action figures. Now, I won't say this is like a fool's errand, but the fact that another company is making Muppet action figures after Palisades made the definitive Muppet action figures, I guess it's like, well, they did them a little different. They tried to make them in scale with 6-inch action figures. So it's like if you put their Kermit next to, Luke Skywalker Black Series figure, they'll seem sort of in scale, which is not the case with the Palisades ones. Sure. But I guess it's also nice, like, if you missed out on the Palisades stuff, because that stuff is pretty expensive on the secondary market. They announced this week that they are doing Sweetums. If you're not familiar with Sweetums, he's the human-sized Muppet. And if you ever go to Hollywood Studios, Disney, and go to Muppets 3D, Sweetums... someone in a costume dressed as Sweetums runs into the theater. So like a live Muppet, like one of the few live Muppets. Everything else is like on screens, or at Magic Kingdom they do a little scene in the America section where they have like the Muppets up in windows. Okay. But they had to, I think they're retiring it because the puppets were getting faded so quickly from the sun. Oh my. So it's like they were ghostly white. So it like was, they were like, the puppets are legit Muppet puppets. So they're expensive. So they were having to get new ones, keep switching them out. That's wild. So it was not cost effective. No. I bring this up mainly to say that I had the original Palisades Sweetum, which was a huge figure, over 12 inches probably. And during the pandemic, I sold it. And I sold it to Dylan Postel, better known to most people as Hornswoggle from the WWE, the little person wrestler he dressed up as a leprechaun. You know Hornswoggle? Yeah. I know of Hornswoggle. He's got a podcast too, right? He's got a podcast. He's got a podcast with Joe Shoes. They're in a couple episodes in. First episode, they debated whether you could, whether it was like a waste of time and money to go to a deli to get a sandwich because you could make it yourself at home. It was very hotly debated.
I won't even get into it. I don't want to, because we'll go down a road I don't want to go down.
No,
but
shy away from deli meats for the time being.
Shy away from that. Dylan Boss, still a big Muppet fan. He has Muppet tattoos. He was actually in Muppets Most Wanted. He was one of the prisoners in the Gulag. So
okay.
I at one point had his shipping address. Maybe it was a P.O. box, but I just thought that was fun to mention there.
Yeah, that is fun.
Are
those just digital renders with the Sweetums, or is that the actual sculpt?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't care. I just wanted to mention that I have some connection to WWE's Hornswoggle.
Very good.
Do you remember when Nerf announced that they were going to have a mascot?
I do remember.
Murph. And he was just an anthropomorphic pile of darts.
Yes.
What happened to Murph?
I haven't heard anything from Murph, especially...
There was like that initial introduction...
There was.
And I feel like that was it. I'm a little concerned that Murph didn't make it.
Concerned for Murph. I mean, he could have been laid off when Hasbro laid off all those employees.
Maybe he was part of the cuts,
previously.
Budget cuts.
He was part of the cuts.
Damn.
Yeah, maybe they just packaged him up into.
They needed
packages.
The material, the raw material.
Yeah.
They sent him out. Oh,
who knows?
No.
I haven't given him much thought.
No, I know. Somebody mentioned it on Twitter this week, and I was like, oh, yeah. That seemed like he should be at events or like on the packaging at least.
Right.
Do you think they traded him for Mr. Beast, and then they put Mr. Beast on the box?
Oh, potentially.
So we can't have this creature and Mr. Beast. We can't do both. We got to pick. Well, I think they backed the wrong horse. I wanted to see more from Murph. I think he was cut down in his prime.
I mean, maybe the reception for Murph wasn't what the Nerf people and the Hasbro people wanted, and they figured we can get away from this fast, and maybe there will only be 2 guys 8 months down the road from now who will ever remember Murph.
They're going to be so mad at us. This is why they're not going to let us host PulseCon.
Yeah.
We brought Murph back up. Damn it.
Yeah.
Those
damn it. I thought we Jimmy Hoffa'd this guy.
Get the silver dildo from Men in Black out. Erase their memories. Oh, man. Wow. Well, we're talking about disappointments. There's a lot of toy companies all of a sudden, like in recent years, maybe since the pandemic, everybody decided to just start their own business. But there's a lot of like small toy companies. You see this with Kickstarter. There's a lot of like Kickstarters that act as sort of like almost marketing for these companies, because then once the Kickstarter ends, they still like produce the toys outside of that. It's like almost like there's like a Kickstarter discount, but then they sell the toys. They were going to produce them anyways, but Kickstarter is just a way to get the word out or whatever. Especially in the wrestling sphere, there's like a lot of companies producing all sorts of different wrestling figures, because there's like so many past wrestlers that are not signed to WWE that are available, that have enough fans to, warrant these toys being created. So one of the toy companies that went way back in the archives is Powertown, and they were doing like Luthez. They did what was the Iron Claw movie, the Von Erichs. They happened to do Kerry Von Erich, so that was good timing on their part. But they connected with the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, and even though Matt and Brian are alive and present day wrestlers, they did pre-orders for Matt and Brian action figures, and the figures have been delayed once again.
Oh no.
So they were supposed to be out like now, I think, but they've been delayed till September. But Powertown, knowing that the fans, myself included, would be upset, they're offering somewhat of a make good. They are going to print a coin that has it's a two-sided coin, as most are. On one side is like the image of the Matt Cardona figure, and then on the other side is the image of the Brian Myers figure. So everyone that pre-ordered that set will be getting one coin. For
what
your
can you
trouble.
redeem the coin for?
No, that's right. No, you can't.
Just get the coin.
has no value.
It's not
just,
like some secret
it's
society
just a
to
coin.
it.
No, I wish. The coins are a thing they're doing, as I don't know why, but they are making coins for the other figures, but they're not like, I don't think they're selling them outright. It's like they're giving them away, so it's like a special thing.
Oh.
But so I'll have a special coin. But it just got
great.
me thinking, like, would you rather get things when you expected to get them, but maybe they're gonna be fucked up? Because it's not like they're delaying them for, like, any fun reason, or they're lazy. Like, there's something wrong, and they were like, we can't ship these as is. Like, we don't know what's wrong.
What was that line that had the broken legs that were just snapping off?
That was Power Town. Yeah.
Oh, that's Power Town.
That was Power Town. And then they were selling the broken ones as, like, don't open these
display pieces. Don't
display
open this
piece
box.
like first.
Okay.
Yeah. Uncirculated, they called them. Uncirculated.
Oh, well, I mean, I think first they got to find out what's going on with the factory that they're using.
Exactly.
Plastic so bad.
Maybe.
Secondly,
well, we don't know what's wrong with these. We don't know. But,
secondly,
yes.
Let's talk about the fact that Power Town, maybe they could do like a Heroes of Podcasts figures and reach out to us.
Maybe. I do
They
feel
get
like
no
there's
money,
a market. I do feel like there's a market for, like, middle-aged white men action figures. I don't feel like there are enough of those.
There's not enough representation of
middle-aged
middle
white
class
men,
white people
in action figure form.
No.
I really want my own toy line now. I've been thinking, because, like, I've always thought of, like, ideas for things, and I've, like, I'll write it down, I'll think about it, but, like, I'm, like, really trying to refine something now that would be, like, a surefire hit that's like unique. Like, I want it to be unique, I want it to be fun, and it's like I want it to be simple enough that they'll look good. Like, I'm not trying to put out a Marvel Legends figure because I know the quality won't be up to snuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I want it to be simple enough, but not so simple that it's like has no articulation, because that's not what I'm about either. So it's like finding that balance.
When we went to the Amber Room, way back when.
Wait a minute.
We're
recording,
a woman there,
right? We're
and
recording.
her license plate said unique. If you don't recall that, do you recall that?
Okay. I mean,
that was just a club. That's all that was. Whatever.
Well, that's how it started out. But I still don't know if what I remember was real or it was like fueled by alcohol. So it's hard to say. I just did some things really happen? Like, did anyone else see this? Anybody?
I saw it. I saw it. One of the guys saw it. Him and I exchanged eyes, and we were like, "That happened. All right."
Okay. Yeah, there was something else that I feel like maybe didn't happen. Definitely cutting this out. Man, throwback. It just won't make any sense. Plus, sometimes my wife listens. We don't need that.
But nothing happened.
Well, listen, I don't need the questions.
I drove home, and it was a night, and we got home at 12:30, I believe.
My favorite story that we had was once we tried to go to a club, and I was trashed, but then the bouncer thought
wouldn't
that you
let
were
you
drunk.
in.
But
Wouldn't
he
let
thought
us
you were
in?
drunk, right?
Yeah, that's right, because I was a little too aggressive with my ID.
Oh, is that what? See, I didn't. I mean, I had no idea.
I had
what was
my
happening.
ID at the ready, and I was like, "Bam! Here you go."
Bam!
And the guy goes,
"Bam!
How much have you had?" That was like a Fitchburg thing.
No, that was Blue Moon or something like that.
Okay.
I feel like we were going
Was
up
it?
towards. Yeah, because that wasn't our first stop that night. I think.
No, it wasn't. No.
Well, obviously, it was not our first stop that night.
But I was a little too heavy-handed. Yes, it was. You're
Yeah.
right. It was.
Yeah.
It was the Blue Moon. You were a little.
Yeah.
I was a little too heavy-handed with
Yeah.
my ID,
Right.
and he stopped me right there.
And I obviously was not too aware of what was happening, but I do remember that you had nothing.
Fantastic.
You were sober as could be, and he.
I
did not let
was.
you
I was
in.
the designated.
He didn't like your attitude.
He
Your
didn't like
sober
my attitude. My sober, enthusiastic. Here's my ID, sir.
Not
Let me
care
go.
for that. No.
Let me go be a patron at your establishment. Attitude.
So I think what we did is we left and we went to Walmart at like midnight or something. That's usually what we
Potentially.
do.
I think that might have happened. Yeah.
That's always our fall. That was always
the
our
default there.
fallback. Man, kids today will have no idea what that was like because Walmart's not open until midnight, right? It's not open 24 hours anymore.
It's like 11. Nope.
Oh, man. And it was always fine. Like, I don't know what people... I guess there could be some locations where it would be really sketchy, but it was not sketchy at all. It was just other people like us. I don't know, like other groups of like friends from college.
There weren't there weren't like family shopping or anything like that. It was just like college age people getting snacks and waiting for DVD releases.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, and waiting for the DVDs. Yeah,
it's Monday night.
Yep.
At 11:55. Do you know where your children are? Yeah, we're at Walmart waiting for 12:01 so we can get Family Guy season 3, even though the guy said it was last week. And I had to argue with him.
I hope this is entertaining to other people. It's entertaining to me.
I gotta believe it is, because
I think people, this is
reminiscing. I feel like reminiscing is something that's kind of fallen off on this podcast quite a bit.
Oh, we're too like straight toy news and like,
which is okay.
Opinion. I mean, I think that's a lot of why people. But I think, to add a little bit of
I think we had a lot more time with it during the pandemic as well.
Sure. Yes.
Like there wasn't a lot going on.
Not really.
Mix.
There were no conventions. Yeah, everybody was saving everything. Yeah. So maybe we'll have to do a monthly other podcast. That could be a good Patreon thing, where we do a bonus podcast where we just talk about us.
Just reminisce.
That's
like the after stuff. That's like
we'd have our friends come on from back in the day.
Oh, sure.
That would be something. Oh, I'd pay $5.99 a month to hear us interview some folks from back home. Whoa. Wow. That's that. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it now. We'll talk about it. Speaking of back in the day, do you remember back in this magical time when fast food restaurants not only had kids meals, but they had an additional better tier of toy that would go along with that, and usually it was like puppets.
Yeah, no, I remember this.
Like they did Burger King or McDonald's at Toy Story, but then they had like puppets, like larger. You'd have to pay an additional fee.
Yes, I do remember these.
Famously, Burger King, they did The Simpsons, which they had those fabric dolls. You're gonna grab one right now. Everybody has a set. I saw my mom trying to sell my set on Facebook.
No. What did I get from The Simpsons today? Where are they? Yeah. Oh, well, there's Bart. Oh, and there's Marge. The little camping trip.
Oh yeah, so those are those are the kids' meal toys. But then there was the dolls. They would come in the plastic bag. The other thing the Burger King did is probably one of my right up there with the reindeer beanbag. My other favorite thing is Alf puppets. Alf. So there were 4 of them. There was a surfer, there was a rock star, there was a chef, and a baseball player, I believe. And they were just hand puppets with some clothes, and they had they had a paper accessory, like a tag that was in the shape of either a guitar or a surfboard, whatever the character. Now, NECA has been making Alf action figures. They did one generic Alf that was mass retail. They did a Comic-Con exclusive where they gave him the camcorder and maybe a different shirt. I think
he had a lanyard.
Shirt.
He had a lanyard as well.
Right. Yeah. They just announced that they are doing Born to Rock Alf. So he's got a black rock t-shirt, and he's got the jean vest. He's got the rock hands. He's got a sax, and he's got a guitar. Now, I don't know if this is based on an episode of the show, because there is an episode where Alf does a whole music video to try to win over the daughter, which we should probably examine that a little bit more. I don't know how far he went, but this is the exact shirt that the Burger King puppet wears.
Okay.
So to me, this is NECA continuing their kids meal inspired line, like they did with Universal Monsters.
The monsters, right?
Yeah. So I love this. I love the idea of
it's a good idea if you have the license.
It's a great theme.
It's a workaround, because what the hell does Burger King care at this point? Oh yeah.
No, they don't. They wouldn't care. There's nobody still working there that worked there during Alf.
Doing that Happy Meal marketing's probably dead and in the ground by now.
Dead in the ground. That's right.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was fun.
No, that is fun.
It's
It
really
looked
cool.
cool.
It looks cool. I don't need another Alf. I think one Alf. Well, listen, Alf is a great figure, but Alf is Alf. You can dress him up in whatever you want. He's still Alf. I don't need the rock hand or the hand holding the guitar pick. I don't need it. But hopefully someone out there does. I'm not sure what Alf figure you could do that I would need at this point. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any other looks that are super iconic.
Maybe Alf with a human hand jammed up his ass.
If they could do something where you had the actual puppeteer inserted into the toy somehow, I would love to see a line of Muppets. Oh shit, I just had a really good idea. All right. Yeah. I just had a good idea for a toy line. Let's end this right here. I'm not giving away free ideas. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
This week was the penultimate X-Men 97. Is that correct? One more episode?
2 more episodes.
Oh, excellent. I don't know the word for that. So 2 more episodes. This was episode 8?
This
7?
was 8.
This was 8. So there's 10 episodes. That's pretty good.
Correct. Yeah.
What happened this week? We learned that what's the guy's name?
We learned that Bastion. He okay.
Explain his story. So he's from the future,
stories.
but he came back and he made everybody in his town sentinels.
He is
unbeknownst to them.
At least in one version of the comics, he is a combination of both Nimrod and Master Mold, and they get pushed through this time displacement tunnel or something like that, which is just kind of like a Marvel catch-all to give everybody a happy ending, and he's gone. Sure. And then from that, he becomes Bastion. In this, there's that episode because Bo DeMaio is always like, hey, pay attention to, the week before, because he's still kind of doing some stuff on social media, pay attention to these episodes during the original run, and you'll kind of get a better understanding of this episode. Yeah. So at one point, the episode is called, I think, One Man's Life, or The Measure of a Man, or something like that, but Nimrod, the Super Sentinel, goes back in time to assassinate Charles Xavier.
Kennedy.
No, Xavier.
Sorry, Charles Xavier, yeah.
And then it kind of changes the present timeline where Wolverine, Storm are married, Magneto's the leader of the mutants, and they're in a post-apocalyptic war zone.
Literally? Apocalypse involved?
Apocalypse is not involved at this point. It's just
weird.
Humans and...
Gotcha.
But they go back in time. Nimrod goes back in time, and in this, at least, Nimrod he dies. But there's some of his nanotechnology kind of does the Terry McGinnis Batman loop, where it goes into this guy, rewrites his DNA, and then creates this Bastion character. Yeah.
So it's confusing. But essentially, everybody in the world, who's got that Sentinel gene in them now?
It seems like it's not so much random, but every secondary character that we've been introduced so far seemingly turns into a Sentinel or
the craziest part Sentinel. Is they immediately have that ability to fly, Iron Man's burst from his feet. That must feel weird, right? You just burst through the soles of your shoes. What happened?
So they show the production assembly line of this, and it's you volunteer and then you wake up and you don't know that you're a sleeper agent.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. I mean, I feel like this is that Marvel's done hordes of enemies in the past, whether it's the Chitauri, things of that nature. And it's just generic bad guy. I like seeing that the humans are actually well animated. They're all different. Yeah. And it's an actual threat, and you have the X-Men essentially just offing people,
just
as
murdering
opposed to
citizens.
offing unknown
not
aliens
even trying
that you don't
to be
care about, crab people, what have you.
If this was the Power Rangers, they'd be no, they're still good inside. We have to just hide them in a cave until we can find a cure. Let's just fuck them up. Wolverine's let me at ya.
I liken it to the Bad Batch. I mean, the Bad Batch also ended this week after 3 seasons, but they were just using the stun setting the whole time. Occasionally, with a conscripted stormtrooper, they would, pew them with their blaster. But mostly it was the stun setting. So I can appreciate watching Wolverine just slash and tear at everybody.
Damn, he went out. There was some great animation where he's falling, and the writer of that scene said that he wrote the script to say Wolverine does a claw tornado.
Okay.
It's like, well, yeah, I think that's how you would describe that. So you mentioned Bo DeMaio, who was the showrunner for the first 2 seasons of this show. Mm-hmm. He was mysteriously let go from Disney prior to season 1 premiering. Now, season 1 was originally supposed to premiere last year, but because of the writer's strike and then the actor's strike, Disney held back this content because they didn't have anything else. They didn't have anything else to premiere this year. So they're like, we need to hold this back. We need
something. We need to anchor 2024 so we keep it relevant. Yeah.
We need people to continue to subscribe to Disney Plus because if there's no new content, why am I paying you whatever it costs a month? So we don't know why he was fired. There's been rumors that he was hard to work with. I think he worked on another show and he was let go from that show as well because he was hard to work with. Because this show has been so well received and because we don't know why he was fired, I see a lot of people saying, hey, give this guy his job back. And I'm just like, Disney doesn't just fire people willy-nilly. Like, he did something. I'll say at the very least, because like the very most, he killed somebody. But at the very least, he created a hostile work environment. And like, that's not okay either. It's like, it's great. It's great that the final product is what it is. But like, are you saying you are willing to sacrifice like the mental well-being of the people working on that show to have quality content? Like, is that what you're saying? It's just like, it's weird to be like, give him his job back. Like, we don't know what he did. Why don't you hold up a second?
And everyone's hush-hush about it at this point still.
Nobody wants to say, and I don't know what that means. But it'll be too bad if the show, I think he was there for the second season, which I think is either in the can or close to it. Mm-hmm. So in the next season, it'll be fine. If there's a dramatic drop off in quality for the third season, it'll suck. But that's too bad. There was one guy holding it all together. I don't know. I think that's not giving enough respect to the other people that work on the show.
No, that is not. Definitely not. I mean, it's a team. It's a team. It's a productive,
That's the whole point of the X-Men. It's a team.
Yeah, it's a
That's
team.
why Wolverine's in the background. He's a loner.
True. And, it's not Wolverine and his X-Men. It's not Bo DeMaio and his X-Men 97.
There it is.
It's a whole team,
It's a whole team. It's a team effort. Yeah.
I got to say, though, coming up, I think this week, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but it was revealed and said that if you peruse the Fatal Attractions storyline in the comics, it'll give you a hint as to what we're going to see coming up this week.
Oh.
Yes.
What's the actress in the movie Fatal Attraction?
Glenn Close.
Is it Glenn Close's vagina?
I hope not. No, she was on Xandar. She was the Xandarian president.
Oh, wow.
In Guardians of the Galaxy.
Do people still get that reference, like from Fatal Attractions, where she uncrosses her legs and they?
That's basic instinct, sir.
Oh,
that's Sharon
everything
Stone.
I just said makes no sense.
Sorry.
What's Fatal Attractions? Is it a different actress too?
Yeah, it's Glenn Close. Sorry.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't
listen.
Take.
I'm just spewing the actual facts here. My facts are straight right now.
It. Listen, I don't want.
I'd
rather
have
you
on the
correct
spot.
Me. No,
who's ordinarily always on the spot. Don't worry. I mean, I have my moments here and there.
And
it just happens to be with Glenn Close nudity and Sharon Stone nudity. So we take that as it is.
Did you see that the percent of nudity and sex scenes in movies dropped like 40%?
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
but I don't watch a lot of movies.
No, but it's just interesting. Like, I don't know what that says, but I don't know what that says. But it's just an interesting stat that movies.
You
are
want
not
an interesting
pushing
stat?
Anymore. I would love an interesting stat.
I learned the other day why dog poop doesn't turn white anymore.
Oh, Why?
Because I want to say back in the early 2000s,
Yes.
the FDA or USDA said that dog food production companies have to reduce the amount of bone meal by 1.9% or to 1.9%, no more, in the content of their dog food.
Wow.
And that was what was
making it
giving
white.
the white poop.
Wow. I wonder if there's any correlation to the health of dogs. Like, did that make them more healthy without it, or
It could be.
was that keep it?
I
have a dog.
also
Oh,
last
yes.
week, not to interrupt your dog, but last
No,
week
that's fine.
we
Please
talked
do.
about how we're aging less and we're so
Yes.
youthful. And I was talking about it at my son's t-ball game, and I thought to myself, it's probably because of all the preservatives in our food that we're preserving ourselves.
We're preserving ourselves.
We're
mummifying
preserving ourselves
from the
without
inside out.
knowing it. So there needs to be studies
But is it
on
a
people
bad
that have a
thing,
clean
then?
diet versus a diet that has a lot of preservatives attached
A lot
to
of
it,
preservatives. That's very
and see
interesting.
what the age, what's starting to age. Do you look older? Yeah. So that was back to your dog.
No, that would be interesting. Like, if that was the case, and it was a conscious decision to make people live longer.
Like,
But now it's like people are living too long. Like, we don't have enough money for the infrastructure for that. It's like, make the food cleaner. That's
make
why
it cleaner.
That's why they
Yes.
finally pushed out this like that weight loss drug. That's like all the celebrities are getting so thin.
Oh yes,
It's like everyone's gonna get real thin and then die real early.
you're gonna get
Something like-
Ozempic face, and then you're
They're-
going to die.
Yes, that you're gonna die. Yes. There you go. Fun for the whole family. I was just gonna say very quickly, since we're talking about dog food, I have a dog. He's very old, much older than any dog should be. But we still buy him the same brand of like little dog food. But I noticed when I was buying it the other day that there's an older dog version of it, and it's
Okay.
like, this dog is as old as a dog should be. Should I switch to the older dog formula? But then it's like, what if he dies after eating that?
I mean,
Is
you
it
might
my
shock
fault?
his stomach. You might.
I
shock
know,
his
that's the
stomach.
thing. I should
Or
have
he'll
made the
refuse it.
switch earlier.
Oh,
It's
how
too
old
late
is he?
now. 14.
14. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fairly old.
It's pretty
Ours
old.
is going to be 11. Ours is going to be 11. We're at the point where my wife's like, we're going to need to talk about getting a companion puppy for him.
What does that mean?
So, like, it kind of, like, softens the blow of losing the dog. And the older dog has companionship in its old age. And then once he goes,
softens the blow for like your kids or like for who?
the kids and the family as a whole, that you still have the other dog.
My kids are not going to give a damn when that dog dies. They are counting
no.
the days because he's like he's always trying to get their food and stuff, which is like probably our
Okay.
fault. Like,
I always
not
hear
that
his
we like
tiny little
feed him from the
notes.
table, but like I'm sure we
Yeah.
could have trained him better. But like, you know, he's got a cushy life. He's living his best. He's got no health problems. I'm probably jinxing it here, but like whatever.
No, keep him going. I mean, I've had 19-year-old dogs in my life. It's something.
Just too long. It's like you don't know. There are the memes where it's like you come back, like a kid goes to college and they come back and their childhood pet is still alive, but like the pet is like, please kill me. It's like, I don't need to be here anymore.
There was a I don't bring Family Guy up because I don't watch. I watch more clips, like 30-second clips of Family Guy than I do anything else. There's a clip where Peter, they always go to that little side humor thing, and Peter says, you know, it's like keeping your elderly dog alive. Yes. And he's like 10 years old. He's bringing Brian downstairs. He's all wrinkly and old. He's like, "Here's your water, boy. Here's your water." Oh, and he's like just trying to put the water in his mouth. And he's like, "Oh, did you have to go to the bathroom?" And he's like holding them.
Yes, I know exactly
The
what you're
lengths.
talking about.
Oh.
That really spoke to me. That really
Didn't it? Gosh.
Oh, this week was fun.
Can't let you
we
go.
didn't get. You know what? We got a couple more things I really want to talk about. So let's talk about it.
Okay.
They announced that they are doing a He-Man movie, which is something they announce at least once a year.
Sure.
The new update is that it will now be on Amazon, and it's coming out in 2026, summer of 2026. Now, they also, I think, had a synopsis, which is like Prince Adam comes to Earth, which is not how He Masters works, right? Like, it's a whole other planet.
So that's legitimately how the live action 80s Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren happened with Courtney Cox and
okay. So they just keep going back to that. Now, as you would expect, Pixel Dan had some thoughts on this, and I watched his video right before we recorded, so it's fresh. I thought he had some good points. First of all, he was mad at whomever released the press release because they misspelled Grayskull, which is the castle, I guess, which won't be in the movie because unless it's on Earth, I don't know.
Yeah, they used the cosmic key the first time to get away from Castle Grayskull.
I've never seen that. He also, here's a quote from Pixel Dan: "Earth is boring," and I agree. Earth is boring unless it's like
Tatooine
Fallout.
is also boring, just so you know.
Tatooine, anything with sand. We need different landscapes. Yes. Now, okay. Let's talk about He-Man. Let's get real with He-Man. A couple things have to happen with He-Man. First of all, and this is probably the most important thing to making He-Man work, and this might piss off some Motu fans, but listen, I'm being real with you. Whether you are prepared to hear this or not, I'm spitting facts here. He-Man cannot be blonde. Nobody respects a blonde man. Okay?
Okay.
Think about it. You either think he's Swedish or he's a dummy or he's Beavis.
True.
You just can't do it. Even like Captain America in the movies, they like made him real dirty blonde, and then by the end he was a brunette. Okay?
Yeah.
They figured it out. Nobody wants blonde heroes unless you're a Homelander. Do you want him to be Homelander? Even Homelander's got like some roots showing.
He does.
So I think that's most important. First of all, if you get that wrong, forget it. The other thing is you gotta lead with the wackiness of it. And I think this is what Pixel Dan was saying as well. There are so many fun characters in Masters that if you don't have Merman show up for a gag, if you don't have...
Gotta get that Fisto in there, too.
If you don't have Fisto, you're just leaving money on the table. Like, this is where the entertainment value comes from. We don't need this muscle-bound friend running around in his Speedo, his furry Speedo, fighting this blue muscle-bound guy in a Speedo. Like, that's not gonna work for the majority of movie viewers.
There's so much. If they're just doing a movie, there's so much. At this point, they should leave Skeletor out of it.
No.
Make a He-Man movie. No, hear me out.
All right.
Hear me out.
All right.
Skeletor, I mean, they didn't have that Mutant Mayhem movie. They didn't have Shredder. They teased him at the end. They could tease Skeletor at the end.
Fair enough.
You need to have, in this movie, you need to have Prince Adam.
Yeah.
Being Prince Adam for at least 15, 20 minutes. Hero's journey. Has to find Castle Grayskull, the Power Sword, etc. Okay. That's a whole 45 minutes to an hour of the movie. Yeah. There's a lot. And in there you get your hero side characters that show up every so often. Fisto, Clamp Champ. But then maybe just have him fight some villains that you... Like your Mermans.
Yeah,
or your Beastman.
Beastman, sure.
And then tease Skeletor. For the second movie.
I'm gonna go the opposite direction. Just like Star Wars is Darth Vader's story, this is Skeletor's story. Okay?
Oh.
Skeletor is your most interesting character. Nobody cares about white bread, Wonder Bread He-Man, all right? He is not interesting.
I can agree with you there.
Give me a characteristic of He-Man other than he's strong. Tell me something about his character. You can't do it. He's
not easily.
Undefined.
I mean, of course
because
I can, but
he is like he's supposed to be
substance to it.
You're supposed to be able to put yourself. He is an avatar for you. That's the whole point of the toy line. You are He-Man. Skeletor, this motherfucker, let me tell you, right from the voice, you got a talking skull. Can't do any better than that. There's so much room for humor. Like, how does this? He's a skull, but he's got a six-pack. Like, what's his workout look like? There's so much. Like, I want to know how Skeletor works. How does he drink? How does he eat? You know, he's banging Evil Lynn. You know that's going down. Yeah. You want to see it.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I want to see it. I want to see it. He's gonna make like that kid and that lady from the movie Blank Check.
Yeah.
It's very, very. If you ever see the movie Blank Check, sidetrack obviously. This was our family movie of the week. It's about an 11-year-old who his bike gets run over by a bad guy who has $1 million. He gives him a blank check because he's running away from the cops. The cops are coming. He doesn't have time.
Right. He's in a hurry. Blank check.
Of
course.
He's in a hurry. He's just like, kid, you know what to do with this. The kid writes $1 million. He goes to the bank. He cashes it because the guy that works at the bank is in cahoots with the bad guy, and he thought that the kid was the guy that was sent to pick up the money. So the kid gets $1 million in cash. He puts it in his backpack. He runs home. He buys this like fucking castle that was on the market for $100,000. He bought a castle. It ends up going up to $300,000, but it was on the market for $100,000. The castle. So
and it's got a
he's down to 700,000.
It was like the fantasy house.
He built all that shit. That's
room.
The thing.
Oh, okay.
The stock house he paid $300,000 for, so he only had $700,000 left. $700,000. He bought all these things: the slushy machine. He bought the slide. He installed a slide that would go from his like second story into the pool, which I don't think they even allowed to do that kind of thing.
Wow.
And then in the end, there's this the lady that works at the bank is also working at the FBI. So that's how you tie in like law enforcement. I guess it really wasn't clear because there's a scene where she's running at night and the kid comes by in his limo and he's like, "Remember me?" And she's like, "I do." And then she like stops to talk to someone who's like doing surveillance in a van. So like, I guess she's in the FBI. It was very unclear. Anyways, they have this sort of weird relationship where like it really seems like she has the hots for this 11-year-old. Like it really does. And at the very end, they're sitting on like the front stoop of the house.
Right.
And then she's like, "Why don't you come like look me up in like 10 years?" And then he's like, "How about 5?" And like they're negotiating when they're going to like have a romantic relationship. And then she full on kisses him on the mouth. This grown ass woman kisses this 11-year-old. And this is a Disney movie that was released in like 94.
Yeah, it's a 90s Disney movie.
What the hell? Okay. That was not okay.
I didn't say it was okay. I was like,
I'm just like,
Disney.
This, like, there's no warning. You know, like you watch like the cartoons or like depictions of smoking. There should be depictions of pedophilia in this movie. That should be the warning.
I knew it was wrong in 94 and it's still wrong now. I will say that right there. Like, I remember renting that movie and being like, wait a minute. I'm past the age of knowing better.
I bet if you were an 11-year-old watching this movie, they were like rewinding that scene over and over again.
We were 11 when that came out, so it was like the perfect age for us.
But you still knew that this was inappropriate. Yeah.
I knew it wasn't appropriate. Yeah. Yes.
Good for you.
Thank you.
We won't bring up Phoebe from Ghostbusters, but
no, please don't. Not at least for another year. Good God.
She looks 18. What can we say?
Listen, time has I've lost the last 4 years like everyone else. It means nothing to me anymore.
You can't use that excuse anymore.
I can use whatever excuse I want.
We're almost on to our next. It's going to be
I'm old.
The mad cow disease is coming or something. Shut it down.
I got a lot of people. Do you have people randomly coming up to you now saying that we listen to the podcast?
Not once in my life. Oh, you know what? Well, at the Power Rangers convention, but that's not
Power
really
Rangers
fair.
convention. I'm having random people come up to me now.
Like at work or like the mall? Where you finding these
anywhere, places I've gone, I've had it happen.
Are you wearing that Collector's Crush shirt? How do they recognize you?
I don't. The TikToks, I have no clue.
Buying toys? They just like see
buying toys? Yeah.
Damn it! I want that. You know what? The next time that happens, be like, hold on, and get me on like Messenger. Like,
I'll get you on Messenger for like a cameo.
The video, and be like, sure. You should be like, do you want to talk to Paul?
Oh yeah.
Seriously, call me. I'll be like, hey, do you want me to record your voicemail message or something? Whatever you want. No kidding. Love it.
So, all right, let's talk about this shirt real quick.
Okay.
Just because I said we might be doing something a little different. So for the month of May, potentially, because it's Memorial Day month, I am going to wear a in memoriam shirt to a long gone social media entertainer / whatever every week. It's going to be a different shirt.
This is the first one. This is Collector Crush.
This is the first one. Yes, I had this idea midweek, and I said
think I saw her.
You may have,
but it's been like a year since then. So
suggestions, please. I have a couple that I'm going to
You're gonna make them?
I'll make them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if you have a favorite, what's the term? Dead media? Have you heard that?
Dead media. I've heard of dead media. Yeah.
If you have a favorite dead media that you would like Bill to emblazon on a black tee from Michael's, please let us know.
Hey.
How do you make them? Do you have? I thought you didn't have a printer. How do you do that?
I do have a printer. No, I do have a printer.
Oh, you got a printer? Okay.
Yeah, I've had one.
Because that was a big thing for a while. You couldn't ship anything.
Yes, no, I have one for a while.
Okay, so on I am a fan of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. I'm on their Facebook, and one of the hosts posted about the latest WWE Kids line. So they always switch this up, Mattel does. The latest is a line called Knuckle Crunchers, which is a bizarre name, but there are these tiny little figures, and every point of articulation clicks.
Yeah.
You hear that? So it's a very fun, like, fidgety toy.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I said, yep.
Yeah. I thought there were other words there.
No.
Even the waist, that's very nice. So that's fun.
Listen
now,
to
this is Brock Lesnar. He comes with the ring, and the ring is amazing. Let me show you this. So it's in scale with the figures, obviously, and the mat, the canvas, is actually a fabric. Look at this. It's like those Halloween things where I'm coming at you. You see that?
Oh yeah.
So it's like thin, right? I don't know if you can see my face through it, but you can come right out it. So it's got a very nice bounce to it. So if you take one of the guys and go, boo! Look at that. That's a nice bounce. Boo!
Look at him go.
Look at the recoil or whatever they say on the internet. Look at that. That's beautiful. So I just wanted to mention those. I gave those to my youngest, and he was having fun bouncing those around. So if Mattel would like any promotion for that, we would gladly welcome some free samples. we enjoy the product. Brock Lesnar. He's not a sex monster. He's an action figure. All right. What else is on the list that we need to talk about this week?
My fun hole was there.
So last week
you want to know about my fun hole?
We explored your fun hole, and you sort of, not that you buried the lead, but they have a slogan. Do you have that box with you?
I don't, because I've been building the set all week.
Okay. So the slogan, if I recall, was something about fun all day or all night.
Okay.
Which, again, seems like double entendre.
I sent you the description of the box, and it made less sense than anything, because it was like at this company we think of fun as a whole or something like that. It was something odd.
It's not well translated into English.
No.
It's just not. All right, here it's on Amazon. Let me click on the picture. It said, okay, here's what it is. Delight day and night. Now, that is the slogan for an adult Superstore product. That is not what you put on bricks for children. Delight day and night. That's the new slogan
day
for this
or night?
show. No, day
nice.
And night.
Well, they have a light feature. That's why it's delightful at night.
Fair. But still.
So I've been like wiring this thing. I was up till 1 a.m. last night watching, like, binging. My wife had to call me up to bed so I could wear my CPAP, because she's like, they're going to take it away from you, Bill, and I'm going to divorce you. And I was like, oh, I better go upstairs, because I'm just marathoning X-Men 97 while I'm building a Lego like I'm a 12-year-old boy again.
As one does, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, you're like, there's like a wiring kit and harnesses and everything else for this damn thing.
Wow.
So it's really hit me in the fun hole.
Damn, there it is. Fun delight, fun at night. No, day and night. Whatever. I can't even get our own slogan right. I'm trying to do another one. All right. You know what? We need to talk about Todd McFarlane because everybody on TikTok loves the videos where we talk about Todd McFarlane. So Todd McFarlane announced this week that he is re-releasing the Bane Mega figure. It's got some comic accurate coloring, and it's going to be in a 2-pack with the Nightfall Batman to recreate that classic Breaking Batman's Back comic. So I don't know. I remember Bane was available as a Build-A-Figure, but that was like a weird version of the figure where it had like very limited articulation.
Yes, and he had the Scarecrow sat on his back.
Oh, okay. Yes. So that was like
that was part
very
of
specific
part
version.
of a specific comic, yeah.
But then there was a Mega figure Bane. Was that earlier on? Like, is that hard to come by? Is that why they're re-releasing it now?
I don't recall seeing it. I feel like it was a little limited.
So this one's not a straight repaint. There's some different, like, sculpted
That's
details.
exciting.
And then he's got, like, blue cell shading, but not too much. I really think since the Batman, the animated series stuff, the McFarlane people have really toned down the cell shading because they realized that people aren't really here for that. It's a little bit distracting. It distracts from the figure. It's like, this is a 3D object. Light bounces off it. You don't actually need what you do in 2D animation. Mm-hmm. The sun will do that for you.
The sun will.
The sun is great. Let me tell you. All right. One more thing. Two more things. Oh, we were talking about X-Men 97. Did you see that Airbnb created a replica
X-Mansion? Yes.
X-Mansion. I was gonna you can stay there. I think
you can stay there. It's $97 a night. I think you have to be invited though.
Well, that's the thing. Only like influencers are going.
We're influencers. I've influenced people.
Let me say, I don't even want to go. Did you see any of the videos? It like seems like an inconvenience. Like these don't look like comfortable rooms. Like I don't think anybody's legitimately staying there because I don't think they would trust you with the stuff.
I think it's like a 3-hour drive for me to get there.
Well, if you want to go, I'm not going to stop you, but I just think it's like it doesn't look fun. Like it doesn't look like you can interact. I know like you can, and they have like people in there to like walk you through the things. But I don't think they leave you alone. I don't think they would trust you with the stuff because people would steal it or break it.
Wear Gambit's chest plate.
Okay.
That's how this works.
This is really why. So there's a dressing room, a locker room.
There is. The locker room,
has like the X-Men must be naked somewhere. They left all their clothes.
Yeah, they're taking a shower. I mean, we saw it in 97.
They're all in the shower. That's right. Morph is in there with them.
Morph's checking in there. He wants to scratch Logan's back.
So on the bench there is Gambit's torso. Now, are we to believe that Gambit his clothing is like different pieces of armor? Like I thought he was just wearing a shirt under a coat.
And that he had very nice, well-defined abdominal muscles, right?
Well, they all have that. They're all wearing spandex.
They are. So armor? He's wearing legitimate armor. Like I'm not too surprised from what's shiny. Like on the shoulders. The shoulders are
that's true.
Obviously
it's got
pronounced.
That weird crest on the
the
collarbone
midsection. The midsection is where I was most surprised to see.
But you know what? It goes down like a little below his waist, like the cut. Okay. So I feel like it's a one piece. I feel like he slips into this. It's like a single piece of clothing.
Like a onesie. Interesting.
I don't feel like he has a separate like torso armor, like a knight. I don't think that's
torso
accurate.
Bend. He's got no ab crunch. How does he do an ab crunch?
That's right. He definitely needs to bend. There's no way that he's set up like that. There's
stuck.
No way.
No way. It's like
they got it. See, I can't stay at this place. It's not accurate. They got it wrong. Why would you even do that? Why would you even put that there? That's ridiculous. Put his friggin' leather jacket there or whatever it is. Pisses me off. But if you want to stay, it's only $97. It's a pretty good deal in this economy. You take what you can get.
That's very good. Yeah.
All right, Bill. Anything else for this big week?
This is a huge week.
It was a huge week. Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
Very good.
Till next townwide yard sale in 2 weeks.
Wow. That's to wait 2 weeks. I can't wait to see what you find.
Figure out how to take a Saturday off again.
See if you can top that. I need you to send some things to people low key so you can find them. Just like,
well, no. So that's the thing.
The whole thing.
Again, it's town-wide again with the map. So, I mean, today I had the car. I just was putting in... I mean, I was on top of things because I had the list. I'd open up my navigation. I just plug in.
Yeah.
I was like a legitimate toy hunter today.
You were. See, I need to hire a camera crew to follow you. This is... We could put this on YouTube. This is how we compete with the big accounts like Toy Scales. This is how we compete. We need that real world stuff. Like, you know, people love us talking, but they need to see us out in action. They need to see us in action.
In action, yes.
So I'll work on that. I'll work on that behind the scenes. All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
I still wanna be a toy.